I'll go check it.
Oh, all right, got it pulled up. Trav. Yeah. We just gotta let it actually say that we're live. If it does it.
Yes, Chris, that fixed your hair.
Yeah. No, it didn't.
Doesn't show that we're live yet.
Oh.
Well, live to someone. Someone's watching us.
Oh. Well, it's not me.
Making sure this works. I'm trying to make all the faces I normally make to make sure it's not my face that's breaking the computer.
No, it's your face.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely your face.
That's not coming up.
I might be having issues with. Oh, here we go.
You got it?
Yeah. I'll share it quick.
Yay.
At the end of the year,
Yep.
a lot of people won't see coming.
There it goes. Yep.
Issues with the stream loading.
A lot of people won't see coming.
All right. I am logged in.
My Wi-Fi is on slide right now.
Oh.
Oh.
Like the lights are flashing.
Oh.
It's supposed to be steady.
Steady.
A Stretty?
A Stretty.
Steady.
Oh, man. We don't want to get Nancy all jealous.
All right. Well, I got the live chat up, and it seems like we're working.
I can't share it because
No?
it's
Connection is bad. We're probably gonna lose connection during this recording. Just to let you know.
Really?
Yep. This is going to be the quickest episode ever.
Well, Chris, get off of the Wi-Fi.
I'm not on the Wi-Fi.
Okay, good.
Dick! Over here with the faces.
All right. Shall we?
Let's do this thing before we lose connection.
Yeah, I know. Live from La Cocina Studios. This is the 204th edition of... Ah, shit, I fucked that up. I was sent the
Let's
whole
make it a
way.
quick episode.
Yeah. Live from La Cocina Studios. This is the 204th edition of the HWR.
Oh, but this is Travis.
That's Travis. You're Chris.
Do I have to?
Bitch.
Ah.
Yes, you have to be yourself this week. I don't want to be you.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's for damn sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We got a hell of a show tonight.
Yeah, do we? What we got to talk about? We had No Mercy. We have regular stuff with Raw and Smackdown.
Raise your hands if you got Royal Rumble tickets.
Oh, yeah.
I did.
Your
Yeah.
hand was totally off camera.
Yeah. With first.
Do you have some news for us today? Do we have any news?
Oh, he's gonna do it. But you just did it. So.
Action news. Worst news of the week.
I don't know who. Was that a rhetorical question?
Yes, that's a rhetorical question.
Okay,
Here are the contestants of our Love Connection HWR show. Hideo, Paige, and Del Rio. Who had the worst?
Ooh.
I'm gonna say Hideo.
Hideo.
Explain how.
Again.
Oh!
How'd he get hurt? What's going on? Why is he hurt? What?
It was a live event match. He was wrestling somebody. He tried. The spot was a power slam, and Hideo went down on his neck.
Ooh.
It's kind of cracked pop. I guess
Ooh.
It was ugly.
it is nasty looking.
We saw it a few minutes ago, and yeah, I was cringing. Like I could feel the goosebumps starting to raise the hair on the tin.
That wasn't goosebumps. That was numbness.
That too. What did you think when you first saw the clip?
I thought, ooh.
Is this it? Is this the end of Hideo Itami of Kenta Kobashi here in NXT?
You said
Maybe.
something. You said something before we started recording. You said the Kenta experiment.
Yeah.
I think so. I think this experiment, unfortunately, it's a path. It's a fail. Fault of his own. I'm not you know, he's got bad luck. That's what it's.
Sorry.
Bad luck, Kenta. I mean, dude, he lost a shit ton of momentum, you know, with that first injury. Now he's back. Everybody's a little bit like, okay, yeah, let's see what he does. And now, boom, injury again.
Well,
Ugh.
yeah, and it's like what I was saying. I think it was last week we were just talking about him, about ever since he's been back.
He doesn't look.
He doesn't look. He isn't like it's. They're like magnifying to me that the arm sleeve that he has. That's just like it magnifies the issue that he was out for over a year or about a year, whatever, however long it was, with that surgery. Just now back, and he, to me personally, because of that, it didn't feel like he ever got back in his groove of things. He was kind of repacing himself, resetting, getting back in this scene of everything,
Right.
and then just like that,
Yeah.
at a live event, no less.
Or it doesn't even count.
In front of peons in Florida.
Yeah, wrestling peons in Florida. Like, who was he wrestling? I didn't even know who the hell those
It was
guys
a
were.
tag match. It was Hideo and Shinsuke Nakamura against Sabatelli and the other guy that's in this cruiserweight in this tag team classic.
I don't even know who those guys are.
And don't worry about it. You're not gonna care.
Oh, okay.
You'll know one of them because one of the guys is the one that did the power slam move on Hideo.
Yeah.
So
He will live in infamy.
Yes. Poor bastard.
What about Paige?
Oh, Paige. Oh, Paigey poo.
She was having the worst week until this news hit today.
Yeah, apparently she got hit with a 90-day suspension. This was her second 60-day suspension. This is her second wellness policy violation. Didn't even really get a chance to come back, and now she's, gone again. And that didn't end there because apparently she decided that she was going to take to social media after her mom also took to social media and said, hey, my baby, I knew she's not taking drugs. I'm sure that's how she sounds. That's my child, or something like that. And yeah, I know it's terrible. After she said that, I know. Paige was like, yeah, I guess whoever. What did she say? The rules only work for
I have it right here.
Oh, go for it.
Same shit, different.
Try the voice.
No, same shit, different day, kids. Please don't get prescriptions or doctor's notes. Not acceptable. Rules apply depending on your status. If those two tweets right there weren't indication that she's trying to get fired right now, I don't know what is.
No, if the second violation after coming back from the first one is an indication enough that she's trying to get fired.
Well,
you think she's trying to get fired?
The second suspension that you can play devil's advocate on that's whatever. I don't, but you could. Those tweets, that's from her herself saying same shit, different day. Don't do prescriptions. Don't do. She's being a smart ass.
And WWE responded earlier.
Oh, they did.
They said that it had nothing to do with prescription medicine. It was something illegal. It was an illegal substance that they found in her system.
Yeah. They came out and said that, and usually WWE
Never
doesn't
responds.
say anything. So yeah, that was interesting. And of course, we didn't get from WWE what the illegal substance was, but they
We
just
won't.
said illegal
But
substance.
that's enough. Yeah.
Yeah, that's more than what we normally hear. So yeah.
What about Del Rio?
Oh, I guess the bad news is that he's still in a relationship with Paige.
Gotta watch out for that white women.
They're crazy.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned something about Del Rio earlier.
Oh yeah. Why you asking me? You looked it up already. Yeah, he was named president of a MMA company over Mexico. Is that right? What was the name of it?
Combate Americos.
Why is that bad news?
I don't know. I said it was bad news.
Oh, I thought we were still on the bad news train. We're just on the news train.
Well, last week he got stabbed 17 times or something like that. I don't
Well,
know.
twice, but yes.
With no police report.
Oh.
Yeah.
In San Antonio.
No, that's fishy all over the place.
Yeah.
So yeah, but this week he's not only is he a restaurant entrepreneur, now he's a he's an MMA president.
Watch out, Dana White.
That's it for the news.
Wow, that was quick.
I'm sure there's
Oh,
more.
you know what?
But
There's one more that I can add to this. I wrote this down,
shit.
and I'm going to mark it off of our list. Is keep your eyes open for total nonstop deletion.
Oh,
It's coming.
What is this?
Be ready.
What is this?
Apparently, an entire episode of Impact is going to be filmed at the
compound.
The compound, yes. So it's going to be all delete all the time for a whole fucking hour.
You know what? I don't give a shit. You know, not only that, look, the Impact right after Bound for Glory, all that talk, all that hype about Bound for Glory, Dixie Carter,
Give it to me.
TNA,
Give it to me.
for sale, who's buying it, this and that. The ratings went down after Bound for Glory, the biggest show of the year, mind you. That's like Raw, the Monday after WrestleMania. It's like the ratings dropped significantly after that one.
Real question. Do you think the ratings dropped because all the leaks came out that Davey Richards wound up leaving that episode with the title?
You mean Eddie Edwards?
Eddie Edwards. Do you think a hardcore TNA fan, not knowing that Eddie Edwards was going to be Bobby Lashley without any build, any storyline, any fucking sense, do you think that the numbers would have gone up, or it doesn't matter?
No, because remember when this happened like 2 years ago, and we were bitching about this, that a title changed hands on SmackDown, and we're like, what the hell? Why are you telling us now, WWE, that title changed hands and spoiling it throughout the week before Friday or Thursday, whenever it happened to be at the time?
Thursday.
And we're like, yeah, that's stupid, blah, blah, blah. We hate it. But everyone like, well, we got to tune in to watch this match. And, that's why they let it leak, because the ratings, something's coming up and something that big, you tell them, and then people will tune in. So by that logic, people should have tuned in to see Eddie Edwards defeat Bobby Lashley to get the title.
Here's the thing.
That's not what happened.
Apparently, nobody gives a shit about Eddie Edwards, if that's the case.
Well, is it all Eddie Edwards? I mean, do we want to blame it on the one guy, or do we just want to blame it on TNA
it's
being
TNA.
this shit show for the last...
Well, no, yeah.
I don't know if we want to blame Eddie Edwards.
We're going to start from the bottom up.
Okay.
Being somewhat familiar with Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards, the Wolves, it is painfully obvious Eddie Edwards is the Jannetty. I could say that confidently from fucking jump.
Okay.
They put it on the wrong guy.
Okay.
If they wanted to put it on a Wolf, they should have put it on Richards.
I remember in ROH, again, about 2 or 3 years ago, they had a mini split of the Wolves, and
they each had a title run.
Yeah, they each had a title run, but they had the TV title on Eddie Edwards longer than they had it on Davey Richards. I think Davey Richards went out for a little bit, and people were pleasantly surprised with him. And people kind of got behind him, and he got over. People still like Davey Richards more, but to say that he's a Jannetty, I can see it in the sense that, well, out of the two from this team, Richards is better than Edwards, but I don't know.
The disparity isn't that huge to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not Jannetty and Michaels. They're like here.
Regardless, kind of splitting hairs over. Even if you were to say Shawn Michaels, Martin Jannetty, you have the Rockers up here, and you have American Wolves. Yeah, down there.
All that whole fucking gag was out of frame.
They got it. But yeah, that's the thing. You can do these types of title runs like this on people that have the exposure on WWE television or have been on TV for a certain period of time to let them build up. Like if they just put the title on Daniel Bryan right away without the whole yes movement and all this other build up to WrestleMania 30, would you have cared that much? Well, you would have. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's the point I'm trying to make. Like, where was Eddie Edwards last week, 2 weeks ago? I know he was competing for that grand championship.
In the beginning, he was supposed to wrestle DJZ for the X Division title. And then Drew Galloway got hurt. So at the last minute, Eddie Edwards replaced Drew Galloway to wrestle for the Grand Championship and lost.
Right.
And then 24 hours later, tapings-wise, he's in a title match against Bobby Lashley and defeats Bobby Lashley. So all that happened in the span of like 72 hours.
Not only Eddie, my issues with Eddie Edwards is general going like that, but also they've been booking Bobby Lashley as the unstoppable champion. And again, who's Eddie Edwards to beat Bobby Lashley?
Yeah.
Of all these other guys that he's beaten, you telling me Eddie Edwards is better than that?
Even I would agree with that. Like, yeah, it doesn't work.
Matter of fact, you know what? Because of that, let me see this right here. TNA.
Oh, damn!
Wait, all the TNA or just Eddie Edwards?
TNA.
Holy shit.
They made the list.
Wow.
This is gonna be a long night.
Oh, shit, balls.
got
You
this.
son of a bitch.
TNA, number 1 on the list.
You should underline that. Yeah, there you go. Lucha Underground!
Broke the microphone, by the way, doing that.
We ain't got much of an episode left anyway. So, Dario's Dial of Doom. Round 3. Prince Puma.
Yes.
Really?
Prince Puma against Matanza.
I'm surprised Puma was even on the wheel.
Just Dario.
Okay.
He's fair to a point.
He removes people that have already been killed off the list. So
He's vengeful but fair.
Yes.
And it's funny you say that because that another good example of Lucha Underground setting itself apart from the norm where, okay, Raw, it's a general manager that's fair, or that's a heel or whatever. And then or SmackDown, you got a general manager that's a face. Lucha Underground, he's a dick to the good guys, but he's also a dick to the bad guys, like Johnny Mundo. Again, Johnny Mundo, no title match.
Yeah.
You know title match.
This has been an ongoing thing last few weeks of Johnny Mundo going to his office, telling him he demands a title match, and Dario just either blows him off or...
You made a good point.
Yeah.
Jack Evans pinned Sexy Star. We should give Evans a shot at the Gift of the Gods title. Mundo, you all right.
Yeah.
Bitch!
And, you know, and the way they carried off that scene... at this point, it can get corny. Like, if this is WWE, he would be laughed out. It'd been a comedy bit by this point. Oh, the heel can't get a title shot, whatever. But no, they're playing it off like Mundo, like he obviously turned around, give Dario a look, and Dario wasn't even like looking at him. He was just like writing down matches and shit, and then he just kind of turned back around and shut the door.
Yeah.
So they're still playing it legit for storyline purposes,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
And they're not just blowing it off like a WWE comedy bit would be at this point.
Right.
So I'm digging that, and I'm digging where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
Matanza versus Puma. What'd you think?
Good match.
What'd you think?
I don't think I watched it. Actually, I'm pretty sure I didn't watch it. I think I watched Lucha. I don't know.
There's about 3 really good matches this week as candidates for me, and this is one of the candidates.
Oh.
That match. The thing that ruined it for me,
The finish.
It's your typical. No, Puma had Matanza. He had him. He did the 450 splash on him, and he was about to pin him, and then Mil Muertes comes in and spears him.
Out of his fucking boots. Puma sold that like a fucking champ.
Not only was that a sick looking spot, but right when the ref was going to ring disqualification, Dario said, "No disqualification." No, like he knew, and he said, "Keep this match going." And the ref was like, "Whoa, what, you know."
Oh, he signs my checks. Fuck it.
And all he could do is like, "Memortis, please get out." He's like, "Please get out there."
And still, even after Matanza beat Puma, there's still that look that Mil's not done with Matanza also.
Yeah.
Like they still there's dude, they're mixing pot. Everybody's connected somehow.
And even though the ending of that match, because that was a damn good match leading up to it, dude, Puma was making Matanza look great, and Matanza was making Puma look even better. Like they were going back and forth to where they're selling each other to where they both look like superstars.
And the commentary's been building up Puma for the last couple of weeks too, where it's no longer Puma being flashy, it's Puma being like methodical, like not focusing on the audience, trying to please the fans. He's focused on systematically beating his opponent so that there's no flaw in his game.
I think they planted a seed because there was one spot during the match he did at 619 Matanza, and I think it was Stryker. He was saying, "Oh, he just got off his match with Rey Mysterio. He picked that up from that match. What else did he learn from Rey Mysterio?" And now that's planting a seed. I haven't read spoilers or anything, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get another round 2, Rey versus Puma, and now Puma's going to go over on Rey because he learned from the loss. See, that's and there was one more bit of last couple of weeks. We've seen Vampiro in the locker room with Puma kind of getting in his ear. And there was one spot where Puma was just kind of like reaching out to the ropes, and Stryker was saying, "Was he looking? Is he looking for inspiration? Is he looking for the ropes? What is he looking? And Vampiro, being dramatic as he is maybe he's looking for guidance." I was like, that son of a bitch.
Is another match of the week candidate Ivelisse against Mariposa? First time ever.
Yes, it's a candidate. It's a candidate for me, not because it was. Oh my God, it was such a good match. It was a nice, solid, 3-4 minute match, going back and forth. Still putting over how tough Ivelisse is, but Mariposa, she held her own in that match too, and adding in Marty the Moth, creepy bastard 101. That's Of course, after the match, Ivelisse won, but that was a sick finish too. The way the setup, it was like a sunset flip powerbomb.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I did watch that.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. What the hell? Why don't I remember the main event?
It's been a long week, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But yes, I do remember that. I remember the finish of that match.
Did you see her new boyfriend?
Oh yeah, Sammy Callahan. That Jack idiot. Yeah, I don't know. I'm disappointed.
At this point,
you could do so much better, baby.
We're getting there. Obviously they've been a couple, but clearly there's tension in that. Like he's like the bad boyfriend, whatever, and she
doesn't want to mix personal with business because that's what happened to her last time with Son of Havoc.
Well, he says, what was it, Son of Chaos or whatever, and she's like Havoc. So like clearly, like something's already gonna happen with this.
And she says, "Drive me home. I want to take a drink." And Sammy pulls out his flat size drink, and I guess I'm driving myself home. Mm-hmm. So this is looking to make Ivelisse a sympathetic babyface. Maybe getting back together with Son of Havoc against Sammy Callahan. That'd be nice.
Something's going to happen where they're in the ring together, and he's going to do something to her, and Son of Havoc's going to come out to save and make the rescue.
Or maybe Angelico.
Oh. Dude, this is fucking Mega Powers all over again, man. She's Elizabeth. They got a bunch of man in Hogan. There you go.
And Rick Rude just trying to hit it and quit it. The ending of the show, Killshot, is becoming a very interesting character. They've Joey Ryan gives him a note that he found at the front of the door, and he goes, "What the hell is this? Where'd you get this from?" And Joey goes, "What do you think I am? A cop?"
No.
He just walked away.
No. He said no. He gave him a note. He said, "Hey, some guy gave this to you." Well, what do you look like? He's like, "I don't know." He says, "Well, where'd he go?" "I don't know. What am I, a detective?" And he just walks away. So yeah.
And in the letter, there's an envelope written in blood that says, "You left me for dead."
All burn up and stuff.
Ooh, really?
So the war hero that fought with Marty the Moth to get his dog tags and represent again, giving a little more relevance to the weapons of mass destruction match that he would go to that level for his people, his country, his service. And you get that letter?
Well,
fuck.
That was part of his origin story, like even further back, where he said he was the only surviving member of his unit, that he was able to, I guess he wasn't the only. Yeah. That's gotta be Kane! That's gotta be Kane!
That's gotta be Bullseye!
Which is good because these kind of storylines like this, like that little scene probably wouldn't have made much sense if you just watched the show. Yeah. But if you've been watching this show, that paid off in spades because you're like, oh, okay, so because you know his backstory, all this other stuff. Yeah, it's
so balancing out the doom and gloom of Left 4 Dead. How about some rabbits?
Rabbits,
yeah,
of
Wascally rabbits,
the white persuasion.
Yeah.
What?
Why they gotta be white?
What?
Well, that's what it says.
Follow the white rabbits.
Are we talking about Mr. Robot now?
Hey. No,
actually, I was thinking Alice in Wonderland.
Oh,
that
too.
I don't know what this is, but you know what? White rabbits. I think more recently it's Matrix. The White Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, they got that from Alice in Wonderland. Obviously, the parallels there. So I don't know if we're gonna get some kind of crazy menagerie of Alice in Wonderland type characters.
Yeah, she
I know.
Yeah. Giggity. Ooh.
That's it for Lucha.
You know, because they're rabbits and they like to, you know.
Yeah. How about NXT? Did you watch NXT?
I know I did not watch NXT.
Woo!
I know I didn't watch it.
The Glorious 10 promo.
Was it glorious?
I'm gonna enjoy the ride, but I already know where this is going.
Where's it going? Where's it going?
Fucking beautiful. The chick backstage asked Ty Dillinger, "Hey Ty, so what do you think about teaming up with Bobby Roode?" Bobby Roode just took over the entire thing.
Oh.
Then she asked Ty a question, and Bobby's just standing behind him like this. Ty's like, "What the fuck's your problem, bitch?"
So tension already. You think maybe in the first round? Oh, did they have the first round match yet?
I don't know.
You think
not for that one? No.
Oh, so you think in the first round it's going to be what I predicted last week, where they're in and then they're out because they're already.
No, that's Cedric and Cien against Revival. That's a hell of a transition there, buddy.
Really?
The Revival first round match against Cien and Cedric, and
Cien.
Yeah, and Revival beat them, and that caused Cien Almas to turn on Cedric.
I like it. I dig it. I've been saying Cien.
Cien.
Yes, he's needed a heel turn. I think.
Does this make him interesting?
No, but but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
And it sets up a feud with him and Cedric Alexander, so they can go back and forth because they have good matches. They had that one match 2 weeks ago.
It was really
That was really good.
How about the debut of Dan Matha? What do you think of his match?
Ooh.
Oh, that wonderful!
They've been building up this NXT prospect called Dan Matha, 6'8", 290, 295.
Big dude.
Look-
Nathan Jones looking dude.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he has a look like you'll tighten your butthole a little bit when you see him walking towards you.
Well, hey, you never know.
But that effect didn't work on everybody because before his opponent could even come out, Samonia beat the living fuck out of Dan Matha. Dead Matha. Shit. And Joe got on the mic. What happened?
Say Regal, this is gonna keep happening. You got 1 week. Or he called him out for 1 week. Yeah. So you got 1 week to make your decision, or else this is gonna keep happening. So, yeah, really good stuff. It's funny. I guess people could take that good or bad that they had this new prospect, this promising dude, and he got beat down.
Fucking destroyed.
I love it. It makes Joe look even more unstoppable, and it's just for that sake just unpredictable.
Yeah.
For WWE standards.
Calling it now. 6 months from now, before Joe debuts on the main roster, he's gonna put Dan Matha over.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it in a nutshell for the delicious bits of NXT.
Ooh, delicious.
There was a women's match. Peyton
Royce against Mela something. Daniela.
She debuted. It was a new chick
Yeah.
debuted. Yeah. But the thing is, before that match, there was a backstage thing of Peyton and Billy Kay talking about who they beat. Oh, Liv
Morgan.
Yeah, Liv Morgan. There's a backstage exchange, and they're making fun of her for losing to Asuka.
Basically, the new Emma and Dana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
What do you think about this combo?
it works.
The Australian chicks.
The Australian chick pulled off a pretty decent New Jersey accent when she was making fun of what's her face. Yeah. I'll give it a chance. Yeah, there has to be
chicks on the Barbie.
Not to be disrespectful to the ladies right now on the NXT roster. Besides, you have your top talent, which is Asuka, Athena, and
that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So for the rest of the people beneath that card, if they're not going to have the physical skills to at least compete with Asuka and Athena, then there has to be some kind of tangible charisma or humor or some kind of substance character them to be tolerable enough on television for us to invest in them the way we invest in Asuka and Athena because of what they can do physically in the ring.
Right. Shows you how much you're invested in her. You keep calling her Athena and not Ember Moon.
Well, this goes back to what I said a month ago, or there's a definite rebuilding of that division that needs to happen. And Asuka's right. There's no one in that division right now that could come close to her right now. Mm-hmm. That's not even being like a heel saying that. It's like
it's true. Yeah. And she's not a heel. She's a face. Really?
We're gonna get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
We're gonna get to that in a little bit. Let's start with Raw real quick.
Wait, in a little bit. That was the last thing about NXT.
We're getting back to that idea of Asuka and that nobody can take her. We'll get to that in a second. Raw.
That sounds like a tease that's not going to get paid off.
You've seen our show.
Yeah, I've watched the show.
He's right there.
Yeah.
Raw.
Like a tease.
So we're watching Raw, right?
Oh, okay. Here we go.
And
hey, I actually watched Raw. Finally.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
With your eyes open?
Yeah, well, somewhat.
Mouth closed? Or were you eating?
Well, I was cooking and eating, but yeah.
No, you didn't watch it.
In one and not the other.
I watched it a little bit. For the most part.
They start the show with Sasha. Nice little promo about winning the title.
Right.
Out comes Charlotte.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Yeah.
All right, this is going to be pretty good. Rusev Putria. Rusev Machka. First impression when you hear Rusev's music and you hear him strutting down the ring while both of the women are mid-promo.
What the fuck?
Yeah, what? Did he miss his cue? Did production press the wrong button? What's going on here?
This is because Charlotte was she was coming down the ring, right?
Yeah, she was coming down.
Yeah, and that's mid
walk.
Yeah.
Mid flare strut.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that whole exchange with Rusev and the women?
I kind of liked it and I kind of hated it. It's like these Lego pieces don't go together, but I like this one and I like this one, so why not? Like I don't know, it didn't make sense, but it's Rusev and Charlotte and Sasha, so who cares? And then you have Lana in there, so it's like who cares? So yay, but you know,
is that a bad thing?
I don't know. I have mixed feelings.
It's unpredictable.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, unpredictable.
Something different,
thing, right?
Something different.
Yeah.
Would you rather just be Sasha and then Charlotte comes out and they banter back and forth and that's the end of the promo?
You know what? You're right, because that'd just be fucking status quo. Right. So yeah, I guess I do like this. You convinced me, Trav.
That's fine.
This reeked of Donald versus Hillary from the second debate.
Oh, come on, man.
That's exactly what that felt like. Donald Trump being dismissive and being sexist against women by having him interrupt these two women because in
league with the Russians. Yeah.
And no, because it ended with both Sasha and Charlotte, two people that are feuding against each other in that moment, standing side by side against Rusev, who was being demeaning to women. That's what that reeked of as that promo finished.
Okay.
But I like that Lana was actually in there going, "You women, y'all know that." Oh, bullshit.
Well, when they started, first Sasha just put her hand over his microphone, and then after that, Charlotte grabbed the microphone out.
No, Charlotte took it from Rusev,
right,
and started talking. Mm-hmm. Then Rusev took it back, and then Sasha just grabbed it and said, "Bitch." Yeah.
And then of course we had Charlotte slap Rusev as well. That was nice. And what I wanted to kind of see happen there was Lana get involved physically because. Right. You know, she was at WrestleMania. She was in the outfit. She was in a match, technically. And there were rumors before and after WrestleMania, like, she's been training. She wants to get in the ring, this and that. I'm like, is this the inroad to that, of us seeing Lana actually wrestling? And it didn't kind of happen. She was still in that managerial role, especially even later in the night. There was a backstage segment. She was out there saying, you know, I'm standing by my man, and that's it. That was the second opportunity when I felt like she could have, you know, bitch, you know, and started getting physical, but she didn't. So.
I really thought it was going to be Sasha and Roman versus Anna and Rusev. Charlotte was just on the same side as Sasha at that point.
But. They shared a look, like they're like, bitch, we're gonna fuck her up, you know, like I got you, you know. they had a look.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day,
but it led into a tag team match.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a minute, players. Tag team match.
it was funny. I was thinking out loud before it actually happened. Do you think, did it give you any invested sympathy in Roman coming out defending the women against Rusev at the moment? Because I was thinking, man, Rusev's talking smack to both of these fine-ass women. If Roman comes out now, I wonder if he'll actually get some decent babyface heat for this. And everyone booed the fuck out of Roman. And I felt bad. I felt bad for Roman that even him trying to do the facey thing for once didn't get him shit.
You know, I didn't get that feeling that you wanted to happen, where we finally get some sympathy and some positive rub for Roman. I was
even a twitch.
I was still like, well, all those guys that were booing Roman, like he came out like, fuck, you know, Roman, God, he's ruining all this. And you know, the match happens and Sasha's in there, and I'm like, yay, Sasha. And Roman's like, oh, fuck, beat him up, Rusev. You know, like,
but I know you're big on storylines, but this is all tying back.
True.
Well, you got two storylines going this now. You have the
Yep.
women's title going into this, and you have the U.S. title feud going into it. Yep. So regardless if it's Roman or not, he's your champion.
Yeah.
So like, does that not make it not as bad, even though it's Roman?
I mean, it's still storyline wise. I don't give a shit about Roman, and it felt a little forced and a little like, what do we got to do to get this guy over as a babyface? Well, let's stick him with Sasha. You know, that'll definitely get him some sympathy. And like, yeah.
Would it have gotten Roman sympathy if Rusev actually put his hands on Sasha?
Maybe.
Like,
which I was surprised that didn't happen. Like, both of the women stood up to Rusev pretty strong enough. I'm surprised he didn't at least push one of them down or like.
Well, that's the problem with being PG and a publicly traded company and this other bullshit, right, that you can't get away with something like Lucha.
Yeah,
you know? Even if he was to put his hand on Sasha or Charlotte, knowing that they weren't going to do anything, I don't know if they can even get away with that, honestly.
Yeah.
Or grab the title, the women's title, and throw it and just start walking towards Sasha like he's going to like stalk her.
Yeah,
like,
threatening.
Yeah,
opposing,
like Trump stalked Clinton.
Yeah, I mean, even, dude, I don't know, because like I didn't feel like Roman was coming to Sasha's aid or even Charlotte's aid. Roman was coming out because that's where the beef is between Roman and Rusev. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to protect the women. It's like, hey, my rival is out there, so I'm going to go out there and beat up my rival.
But
that's how I felt that was.
But look at why did Rusev come out? He didn't give a shit about the women. He was
exactly.
So
that well, it felt like Rusev was out there just to interrupt and like, hey, y'all, scoot. And now that I'm here, you know, oh, it's okay for Roman to come out. And even Roman was like, oh, hey, this is about us two, not them, scoot. You know, so
I was thinking the same thing. When Roman came out, I was waiting for Roman to at least like hold the ropes and escort the women out and then just beat the shit out of Rusev or them go at it.
And now I probably would have gotten that feeling that you were saying if it was booked that way, where Roman was or Rusev was really gonna like fuck up Sasha, and then that's when Roman comes out just for the pure intent
chivalry
of defending Sasha, where he like, hey, watch out, baby girl, you know, like that kind of thing, you know, fucking more of that shit, you know. But he didn't. That's not how it came off as. So I was like, meh.
At the end of the day, first time ever, female Hell in a Cell. Charlotte, Sasha. On that alone, I know we're a couple weeks out. What's your anticipation level for this?
6 or 7 right now. I'm as much as I'm tired of seeing two fight, it makes sense to up the ante a little bit, put them in some kind of gimmick match. So I'm down for it.
Yeah, I would say that I'm about an 8, and it would be higher if it wasn't for the fact that it's Sasha and Charlotte. If it was anybody else with the same type of flavor going into the storyline as it is, but just someone different, then I would have been like, oh yeah. But I'm like, no, I'm like, I'll give it a couple of weeks, see what the build is like. If the build's better, it could go up. But right now, I'm at an 8. What about you?
I'm at about a 7.
Okay.
I want it to be a lot higher because it's first time ever in the cell. But at the same time, we've seen countless Hell in a Cell matches.
We're going to see 3 that night.
Cells break. People fall off the top. Your face is turned into a human cheese grater. Do you really think WWE will take it to that extreme with the women?
No, we will not.
You sure?
Yes,
there's not
I
2
am
weeks
sure.
for them to get hardcore.
Listen. This is Hell in a Cell pay-per-view where that's the name of the show. And there's 3 other fucking Hell in a Cell matches. Well, okay, yeah, there's 2 other Hell in a Cell matches. A total of 3. What happened the last time we had a gimmick pay-per-view where they had multiple matches of the same type of thing? You had I kind of want to go back to some other Hell in a Cell pay-per-view where there was like a bunch of cell matches, but I'm sure a better example would be like a TLC match where technically they're all different or whatever.
Or Lockdown from TNA where the entire show's in
I don't want to count Lockdown right now. I'm gonna draw a parallel from TNA at some other point, but here, just in WWE style. Just in WWE style, when you have one of those type of pay-per-views, you're going to have all these matches with gimmick matches in it. And like with TLC, one's a ladder, one's a table match, one's a TLC match, whatever. But other Hell in a Cell pay-per-views and even like Elimination Chamber pay-per-views where they have multiples, sometimes what they do is they fuck with the formula of what the cell match or the gimmick match or whatever it is normally is. So here, what they're going to do is they're going to have a knockdown drag out. They might have a high spot. They're not going to bleed. They're not going to get color. No one's getting thrown off of the side of the cell. They may not even escape the cell. It's just going to be a really, really good match that happens to be in the cage. You know, maybe they'll utilize it here and there a little bit, but not that much. And that's it. Because you got 2 other matches on that card with 2 other fucking badass, you know, things that can happen where you could get your hardcore shit in there. So that's not going to happen in this match.
I don't think that's going to happen in any of the matches.
Okay.
I hate the fact that there's Extreme Rules pay-per-views and Hell in a Cell pay-per-views in this PG era. It's anticlimactic. It's almost pointless at this rate. They don't do anything that's remotely hardcore. Or, you know, I was even thinking about watching Raw.
Yeah.
Like, just because it's Hell in a Cell doesn't mean they're going to climb on top of the cage and throwing each other off the top of the cage or anything. They're not going to do that anymore. They may, like not in the women's match, but they may in the main event maybe bust to the side of the cage or something. But yeah. Although that criticism aside, I'm still looking forward to it because I'm curious to see how it plays out.
How WWE will do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, this isn't the first time that we've seen women in a cage. Now I want to go ahead and pull the parallels from TNA because we've seen this. One of the best women's matches in a cage, of course, this is a cage as opposed to Hell in a Cell. Cage match was, you know, Gail Kim and Kong. Holy Gail Kim coming off the top of the cage, splashing on the Kong. Oh shit, that was crazy. And them just like going at it, really getting physical, really getting, you know, their licks in, real stiff. Holy shit, that match was great. Yeah. You know, of all the great matches that Kong and Gail Kim have had separately and together, that one always sticks out in my mind as, wow, that's a fucking brutal-ass match. Mm-hmm. So, to me, when I'm watching this match, I'm going to be comparing that to that match in my mind. I know that may not be fair to WWE to compare it to the best thing TNA has put out as far as knockouts go.
In that environment.
But, like, I can't help but do it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, that's just me.
Yeah. How about Bailey? Beat a little jobber, and then
whoop-de-doo,
and then she does her little pose at the ramp. Yay! Poof.
Dana.
And then the air gets let out, and the little fan like is draped over Bailey like it was a flag morning.
That was fucking hilarious. Oh, I'm sure that was unintentional that it landed on top of Bailey, but it kind of looked like she was in a little blanket. She looked very comfy.
Yeah.
But I want to focus on what this is this a step in the right direction? We were bitching about a couple of weeks ago how Dana, Bailey, Charlotte, Sasha have all been mixed up together too much. And I sat here and I said, they need to pull the trigger on Dana. Yeah, I don't think Dana's a good wrestler. I think she fucking sucks in the ring. I don't think she should be on the main roster yet. But if you're going to do something with her, fucking do it now. Pull the trigger now. Have her turn on Charlotte. Have her be like saying, hey, I was the smart one. I was trying to do all this stuff for you, but instead you're just being stupid and abusive to me when I was doing all this shit that was actually pretty clever. Like, now is she not with Charlotte anymore? Is she going out on her own? Are we going to get more character development out of her? She just beat up on Bayley for no reason. Did she do it for Charlotte? I don't think so, because Charlotte now seems to be more so paired off with Sasha. So what's going on there? And there's a twinge of interesting there for me now.
Well, good for you.
Okay.
You know what? Dana Brooke. She's on.
Oh,
shit.
The list of Travis strikes again.
Fuck.
This is weeks in the making.
Oh,
shit.
well, you're really like spelling everything out there. Wow.
Does the club make the list of Travis this week?
This week? No.
Oh.
Defend yourself.
They started it last week, and they continued this week. The one thing that you've been critical of them about, as far as their characters, is they're doctors and all of their comedy bullshit. They suck. Blah blah blah. Yeah, they were. Now they're getting back. You said they need to be serious. They need to be ass kickers. Blah blah blah. Guess what they've been doing for the last 2 weeks? Whipping ass and taking names and being done with it. They keep that shit up. If they ever do a cross-promotional thing with AJ again, it'll be believable. 2-3 weeks ago, AJ's up here, club's down here. They're starting to...
They're on the uptick?
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe that's all it took for them not to be immediately thrust into the title scene against New Day. If they knew that they weren't going to take the titles off of New Day, they should never have had them in that situation in the first place. But if they're going to keep doing this to where they're not talking... They're just coming out through the crowd, just beating shit, beating people up. I'm down for that. Keep that up for a few more weeks, maybe up to Hell in a Cell's what, 3 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
2 more weeks. Maybe you can throw them in a match at the pay-per-view. Give them a credible team, not some jabronis, which I don't know who you have left. That's not the tag team champs.
Hype Bros.
They're on SmackDown, and they're jabronis too. But you know what I'm saying? It's got to be somebody credible that's when they beat them, it's not going to be like, oh, well, of course they beat them because they're them. You know?
Now, I don't want to see the club become one-dimensional with the pendulum swinging into the other direction. Yeah, the stuff with the comedy stuff and the doctors and the egg and ring postitis and all that stuff was a little bit too much. But one thing about the Bullet Club, not the club, one thing about the Bullet Club is that they were the modern day NWO and DX. And stuff about NWO and DX is that, yeah, they're ass kickers. They're badasses. They would throw down in the ring and beat everybody up and all that shit. But they also did fucking stupid, funny shit, bullshit. I mean, driving around in tank, going up to WCW, every time Scott Hall did shit like that, like they were always doing goofy ass shit on top of being ass kickers. And I think that when they were doing the doctor shit, they were trying too hard to capture that end of things.
There was an imbalance. Yeah,
there was an imbalance. And now that they're over here and they're going to just jump people for, you're proposing that they jump people for 3 weeks. Now I'm like, they're just one dimensional. They're just ass kickers. They're just the authors of pain on on Raw, and that's it. Like I don't give a shit. They just come out there big lumbering dumb oafs and just beat people up. Well, fuck that shit. If they could get it to where it's in the middle, where they're a little bit of both, where they have some personality to them, where they could talk shit to them, and say funny shit on the mic or do something stupid and kick ass and back it up in the ring. I think that's where they need to. I'm
going to disagree on that only because we have 3 hours of people talking. Why can't we just have heels come out and just beat the shit out of people?
Because then you have the authors of pain and nobody gives a shit about
Here's
them.
the problem. Right now, we don't give a shit about the club.
Right.
This is the reset button.
Okay.
So the NWO, when they first came out, when DX first came out, they beat the shit out of people. Then, once that was established that they're a credible threat to the brand, not a division, to the brand, that's when they start bragging about how much of a threat they are, and that's where the charisma comes in.
And all those examples you said about DX and NWO having all this, that's them. Those are those characters, those wrestlers themselves. They have that charisma to where they can do that. I don't see charisma from Gallows and Anderson like I do with those people you just mentioned.
Okay, that's fair.
How about
The quicker picker upper.
the threats continue. Another guy that's got one more week.
Yeah.
Mick Foley.
Mm-hmm.
Bitch, one more week. Give me some competition, or he's not going to be responsible. Dude, I'm loving this. Like, I no longer smell Wyatt family on this guy.
Really?
He's right there already.
Okay.
Up until something I'm sure about to talk about, and this might transition to that. But when he started talking, getting on the mic, and he started talking about he needs a credible opponent, this and that, and he's talking shit to Foley, I wouldn't have been hard-pressed to say that Mick Foley was going to come out and say, okay, you want competition, Survivor Series or Hell in a Cell, Brock Lesnar. There you go.
Oh, God.
At this time in April, I was not ready for the rumors of Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar. Now, I don't have the appetite for it yet, but something in the distance smells good. So
I'm not there yet.
But again,
okay.
We're in October.
Yeah.
By January, if he breaks fucking Roman Reigns' record of eliminations, no, Roman beat it a few years ago.
2 years ago?
The year that Batista won.
A lot of eliminations.
Yeah. If he breaks the record
13?
or ties that record, 13.
13.
If he breaks that record, all right. And Brock Lesnar being one of them that gets eliminated.
Oh.
All right. Now I'm ready for Lesnar Strowman at Mania.
If Lesnar is going to be in the Rumble match, I want bodies tossed everywhere, and then I want to see Lesnar and Strowman middle of the ring.
Dude, because that same Royal Rumble, it was last year with AJ. That's when we got Lesnar and Strowman for the first time, and Lesnar was being stiff as fuck. You could see the welds on Strowman, and it looked good. Back then, when Strowman was still part of the Wyatt family, because it took all four of them to eliminate him. But now that Strowman's got his own independent credit, and he's making threats.
He can talk now.
Now he's becoming his own entity.
He's not that bad of a talker.
No, he's not.
No. And this is just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
Just wait till he has someone face to face that he can cut with.
Yeah.
And if it works, dude, Strowman and Heyman?
Now we're putting fucking high in the sky hopes over here, you know, with what's gonna happen with. How disappointed are you going to be come next week? Out comes Foley and says, okay, you want real competition? All right, fine. And then somebody going to get their ass kicked. And out comes fucking Mark Henry.
That's what I expect.
You know? Okay.
Yeah.
Henry has not been billed as someone that we should care about. Right. To a lesser extent, dude, if Big Show gets killed, good. That puts Strowman over that he beat a former World Heavyweight Champion, former ECW champion, and Mark Henry. He beat a former WCW Heavyweight Champion and former Heavyweight Champion.
And legit in big dude.
In the Big Show. Yeah. Okay. So not to mention, you ain't got to worry about Strowman versus Lesnar anytime soon because Lesnar's plate looks full.
Oh.
Apparently, shit happens when you get into a 2K17 video game commercial because all of a sudden that's like matchmaker paradise. Y'all are paired in a video game. Fuck it, y'all are gonna draw, or are you gonna try to draw? Because Lesnar pretty much laid out the challenge: Lesnar versus Goldberg, and why?
One thing that I didn't even think about would be a reason for this match to happen. Like how would this come about? And they even showed clips from SportsCenter last week when Goldberg was on there, and he threw out a line about how who he want to fight again, and he says, "Well, I'll beat Lesnar at WrestleMania 20. There's a whole bunch of guys I want to fight." Kind of being nonchalant about it. That one line was the catalyst for Heyman coming out and he's saying, "You know what? The careers of Goldberg and Lesnar, they kind of went parallel for a while. They're building up at the same time, and
not at the same time, but in momentum.
And then he says, there's one out of all the people that Lesnar's beat, or all the matches he's had, there's one guy that he hasn't beat. And that was
the one blemish on his record.
The one blemish on his record, Goldberg from WrestleMania 20. I was like, the light bulb went off in my brain. I was like, oh, no shit.
Like, we bitched and complained about how horrible that WrestleMania 20 match is.
Right. Yeah.
And how everyone booed both the guys out of the arena.
Yeah.
I saw the meme from Heelbook that even Steve Austin doesn't even want to referee this match. But we never really focused the other side of the coin, which is there's a legitimate reason, storyline-wise, if done right, for Lesnar to want Bill Goldberg. Not necessarily that he's going to beat Bill Goldberg or lose to him again, or that it's going to be a shit show. To be interesting.
Yeah.
And I think for Travis, that made it interesting.
It did. They got my attention.
Wow.
The match is gonna suck.
Dude, I'm calling it now, man. This match is not going any longer than 15 minutes. Lesnar is decisively gonna go over Bill Goldberg because their careers might have been parallel from till WrestleMania 20, where Goldberg got the one up over Lesnar, but Goldberg's still been one dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
Lesnar,
and he stopped right there.
And then he stopped. Lesnar played football, went to MMA, became MMA big shit, came back to WWE big shit.
Yeah.
And he's coming back around full circle to tie up the loose end that's Goldberg.
And he's still got like, what, 10 years on him? Like he's like 10 years younger than
43 over 55. I think Goldberg's 55 and Lesnar's in his prime.
He's 49 and Lesnar is 39.
Yeah.
They're 10-year difference.
10-year difference.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And Goldberg hasn't been wrestling.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Goldberg hasn't been wrestling. He hasn't been MMA. He ain't training for the fucking Olympics. He's been sitting on his ass at home not doing shit.
He's had a couple of Legends of Wrestling shows here and there, but that's like a sprinkle. And even then, that's against talent where you know the reason Goldberg's on that show is to
Against guys
spear
like James Ellsworth.
Spear, jackhammer, dead, done.
Yeah.
Lesnar still put up match of the year against CM Punk at SummerSlam. Closed out Undertaker's undefeated streak.
Mm-hmm.
Conquered John Cena for the title at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
And is still going strong.
Yeah, I mean, he had a couple of shitty matches
Match
with
of the year
Cena
candidate
and with Triple H, but still.
Match of the year candidate with Cena and Rollins at Royal Rumble for Triple Threat.
Yeah.
So he's still been.
Here's the thing. This is going to be a WWE spectacle. It's not going to be a match. Like,
this is ending the show.
Sting versus Triple H WrestleMania. Shit match.
Oh, yeah.
But the build up to it and all the things with the NWO, DX, that was entertaining. That was
entertaining.
Entertaining.
Yeah.
Fuck you. So that was the match. You know what?
No, wait, no,
oh
wait,
my God.
no.
Holy shit.
No.
You know, there's another reason why he should be on the list. He transitioned into Raw, started talking about Raw, and didn't get out the fucking little napkin holder there.
Oh, it's twice.
What the fuck you hit me for? You're the dumbass who forgot it.
You're a big mouth that let everything come out.
Oh, well.
Trying to get your friends in trouble. It's so bad.
Mm.
You know what?
Oh, shit.
Yes, I want some company.
You just made the list.
Ah, damn it.
Yes. TJP against Brian Kendrick is coming up at the Hell in a Cell. What'd you think of both of their antics on Raw?
I think I said this earlier in the show, and I'm going to say it again. I love this, and I hated this.
What did you hate first?
Well, I hate that, hey, we're going to give him this awesome, badass video game entrance music. Okay, cool. He's this cool dude. All right, that's awesome. We're going to give him a gimmick where he actually, you know, we're going to fucking run with it. And he's going to talk in video game lingo. Hey, one up, brother. What?
Let's hit the pause button.
Let's hit the pause button. Like, oh, you'll need an extra life. The fuck? Like, okay, the video game music was cool. The entrance is cool. All that shit with him saying and having all the video game lingo, that's a little bit too on the nose, man. That's too
I think we all
much.
agree on that.
That's too
Dude,
much.
that was fucking stupid. I fucking hated every time he said something like that because it also felt like it was forced. It felt like somebody wrote it down for him. It was like the CFOs or Jim Johnson or whoever it was that made the fucking badass music. It's like, hey, man, this is pretty cool. But then some writer was like, oh, man, well, he likes video games? We're going to video game the shit out of this guy. You know, like, oh, dude, it's terrible.
If he has the jumping Mega Man pose where one arm's like this and the other one is up with one leg out, I'm done. That's too forced. We did not get anything force-fed from TJ Perkins in the Classic.
Yeah.
And we didn't get anything force-fed from TJ Perkins up until the backstage segment with Brian Kendrick.
Now, I loved the backstage segment with Brian Kendrick because of the substance. You know, we got backstory. We got like a connection there between them two. Hey, you used to drive me.
Come back from the dark side into the light, my friend.
Yeah, like you used to drive me around. Hey, remember that time
when my N64 broke?
Okay. Is the
The 64 is on the list.
TJ Perkins made the list.
Oh, what? Oh my god. Oh,
shit
man,
thistle.
that list. Híjole. But yeah,
No, you just said it, man. It's
Yeah.
like it's. I've said this like for 2 weeks now. Like I'm getting tired of hearing like sob story shit from. Well, actually now both of them at this point, TJ Perkins and Brian Kendrick. I get it. Let's move on.
Oh, so you didn't dig the substance there?
Not really. Like I've heard it already before through commentaries when they would do commentary during matches, when the commentators would actually talk about it, and just in their little packages that they would do, their vignettes. Everything is all. I get their stories.
But this was a little bit different. This was them doing a storyline connection between the two of them.
Yeah, they've already done it
Here's
before.
the problem.
Did they?
Yes.
Here's the issue.
Okay.
Us as fans have already heard this for 4 months now because of the Cruiserweight Classic.
Oh, hold
They
on.
should have pushed as much as we liked the substance and Brian Kendrick crying and Daniel Bryan hugging him at the end. If they really wanted this meaningful rivalry to matter, they could have saved this for maybe WrestleMania season and started TJ off with people that would make TJ Perkins strong as a wrestler before you can affect his emotions. And this is like too much too fast.
I think that you guys are harping on this and giving it too much grief because you guys are saying that you've already heard a lot of backstory about like these guys. We've heard backstories about TJP and about Brian Kendrick separately, not them being tied together.
I guess I have. They've been saying that.
When did you hear that?
Out of the 3 matches they've had already, or 2 matches they've already had, they've been saying that. Yeah, they've been saying Brian Kendrick. And this didn't happen during the Cruiserweight Classic.
No, it did, because here's the time thread. Corey Graves, hearing him on commentary after hearing the finals about how when they had Corey for a bit, they brought him Mauro and Daniels.
Yeah.
And Corey went off about this whole friendship. So now I'm hearing his voice on another show continuing said story about this friendship and the thread in the middle. It's like,
yeah, this has been going on.
Yeah.
They've been saying that about them being he drove him to the schools and all this other bullshit. Yeah. Whatever. I'm tired of hearing about it. That made the list.
Well,
Twice.
oh.
Yeah.
okay, speaking of making the list, how about the obvious red herring that they were hyping up too much the possibility that Jericho was going to be in this triple threat match only to have Rollins just beat him and we're back to status quo?
I thought it was a little weird that Owens didn't reciprocate the hesitation. You know, like he didn't go out there with the mindset of, I got to make sure Jericho doesn't win this because he might fuck me over. He kind of went out there with, hey, this is my best friend and my current opponent, so I'm going to go out there with that mindset and, you know, kind of fuck shit up that way. I was like, why is it there?
I seriously thought that he was out there to have insurance in that match. Because I really do think that he was thinking that if Jericho is in there,
That's another problem.
well, no, if he's in there, he's going to help him.
Oh, okay.
Because why else would he help him win?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He wanted Jericho in that match to help him beat Rollins.
So it would be a 2-on-1 type situation.
In Owens' mind.
Okay.
Jericho's mind is probably he's got cogwheels and all kinds of shit.
Between Rollins and Stephanie dropping the hints at Jericho is like, maybe Jericho.
Oh, dude. Jericho in his list with Stephanie just.
Oh, yeah. He put Foley on the list and he halfway put Stephanie. He's like, nah, I'm not doing anything. And he hit the list. And Stephanie's like, no, Jericho's actually right. And he's like shaking his head and starts scratching his mouth.
Dude, the subtle nuances with Jericho doing everything with this. Oh,
Dude, that backstage segment with Jericho and Steph, oh, man.
Steph, we never had issues before.
We've never had issues. Like, oh, really?
Just last month. Nah,
Oh, man.
that is Raw.
They would make some beautiful babies.
For now, because we got No Mercy. And then SmackDown's going to bring the whole company back together.
No, merci.
Oui.
Did you want to mention anything about the network or anything? Or
We'll get there.
Okay.
No Mercy.
Ah.
First thing that comes to your mind at No Mercy.
No Mercy, sponsored by Pizza Hut Stuffed Crust Pizza, the pay-per-view you watch backwards. Because, you know, the fucking
I don't eat stuffed crust pizza, so I don't. Oh, they spin it and you eat.
Backwards, the crust first.
Did you put him on the list again?
The
Okay,
pay-per-view had the main event first.
That might be my match of the week pick.
That might be my pick as well.
AJ, Dean, Cena.
Yep.
That, my friend, is how you grab people's attention from the first moment. Once the pyro goes off and the lights fade.
There's some pros and cons to that. I'll get to that in a second. However, I want to say that that's match of the night, and also it's my match of the week pick.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, all three of them. There's as much as I'm not the biggest fan of Dean Ambrose. AJ probably up there, probably my favorite wrestler right now on the roster. Cena, we all know Cena. He can hold his own on any kind of match given.
Mm-hmm.
The three of them together have excellent chemistry together.
Mm-hmm.
All three of them, and I loved the fact that during this match, we were this close from getting shenanigans with the double
Tap.
the tap out. And I was thinking, oh, God damn it. Like, this is going to be, here we go. It's going to be a big thing. And the ref, the first ref in the history of wrestling to have a brain, say, no, wait, hold on a second, players. We can't have
two guys win a triple threat match.
That's unheard of. We can't do that. This is
There must be a winner.
Yes. Restart the match. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Oh, shit. I'm about to get on the list again. This is the reason why it's not my match of the week pick. Because that match should have ended right there. Since when has there been a double pin or a double submission or anything like that, and the ref said, oh, well, you know what? We just got to continue this match because there has to be one. That's never been a thing. If there's like some sort of weird shenanigans with the double pin or double submission or whatever, that's the end of the match. Both people are declared the winner, blah, 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 this and that. Yeah, oh, thank you. What the fuck? Why this ref just came out and said, no, there's going to be one winner. No, that's not his job. His job is to officiate the match. Fucking Mick Foley or no, who fucking Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan should be the one to say, no, we restart the match, this and that. Or, hey, these are the two guys that won. There's controversy. This is my ruling. The dude tapped out.
Who would you raise? You have to raise someone's hand in victory.
You'd raise both in their hands. You say that they both win. Yeah, they've done that shit before. They've never.
Name one match.
Now, see, you're working at the disadvantage of my memory, but it has happened before. I'm trying to think who.
Maybe one of our listeners.
Yeah, maybe somebody. Please help me out. There's always been there's been double winners of fucking
in a championship match.
Yes, like that's when you got like the fucking controversy come out and stuff. I'm not saying that like, oh man, this would have been the best thing and ideal, and this is what I would like, but. If you're going to end that way, like...
So would you rather have shenanigans or would you rather have logic?
I'd rather have logic, even if it's at the expense of the shenanigans. But this way, the logic is both guys won. He tapped. That's the end of the thing. It's not the ref's job to say we're going to restart the match. If anything, like that is when you stop the match and say, hey, we got two winners. What do we do? And then that's when the general manager comes out and says this and that. And then, hey, okay, well, we started off the night with this. Hey, AJ, you tapped out. Guess what? Hit the locker room. Dean and Cena, y'all be on again at the end of the night. You know,
which is what I thought for a split second. That's what I thought it was.
You know, like continuity-wise, as far as history of wrestling, continuity.
Have you seen WWE before?
History of wrestling, like you've never seen that kind of thing where the ref all of a sudden has the fucking brain. Like that doesn't make any sense at all. That like, oh, the ref is the one that like that completely took me out of the match. I hated the rest of it.
If Daniel Bryan or Shane McMahon were not going to come out to handle the situation, the ref's job is not to create a new match, but to finish the match that he started. And that match was not going to finish with two winners in a championship match. So he made the right call by restarting that match.
And Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon on Talking Smack after that, he confirmed
they addressed it.
They said that if the ref didn't do that, one of us would have come out there and restarted the match.
Yeah.
That's probably what should have happened. But
so if Abel didn't already make this list, I'm about to make this list because if you want to do continuity and jump over to SmackDown, entertainment-wise, my match of the week candidate, which is this close to being my pick, is AJ Styles versus James Ellsworth with Dean Ambrose as the referee. Dean Ambrose, for being able to hold his own physically in a triple threat match, his character held his own, playing off of AJ Styles and making James Ellsworth a sympathetic, pipsqueak, offspring-loving babyface.
Hold on a minute, player.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
We could talk about that, but I think you just kind of glossed over what we were arguing about over here about the match from No Mercy.
Right.
The fuck do you think about AJ versus Cena versus Dean and the
I said it from the beginning before you all started talking about it. It's a match that we counted for me. It was really good.
Okay.
But what's your 2 cents on the whole?
You were right. The referee did the right decision.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. On to Ellsworth.
Yeah.
Scratching him off.
For now.
For now, I know he's going to write it on there 3 or 4 more times. Ambrose, for me, was entertaining. He kept me involved in the match. Him egging Styles on, Styles knowing he couldn't lay a fucking finger on him because Brian put the kibosh on that before the match even started. And still beating the fuck out of Ellsworth. And Ellsworth's nasty take on the Styles clash where he forgot to lean his head back.
Yeah, he tucked down and said tuck back. Yeah.
Yeah, and Ambrose on the phone.
Yes.
Eating popcorn, trying to grab a handful of that tit in the front row. If I'll be honest, if it was just AJ versus Ellsworth alone, it should have been 3 minutes long. AJ should have won. We should have moved on to the next segment.
Yes.
Ambrose made me invested in the 3 of them in the ring to the point that I am looking forward to next week's title match between Ellsworth and AJ Styles on SmackDown Live. So it did its purpose for me better than I thought it was going to be, and I laughed my ass off. So it's a candidate for me. It's probably not going to be my pick. It's probably going to be the triple threat, but damn it, this shit came close. Entertainment value.
If you're taking Ellsworth serious as like this is something that WWE is booking and this is somebody that you should think is a wrestler.
The new Horowitz.
Yeah, even if you think of him as much as a Horowitz type character, then this is going to be something that should piss you off. But if you just see him as a prop, as a device to further the story between Dean and AJ, then I don't give any fucks about it. Like, sure, I let him do whatever. If it gets Dean to be as entertaining as he was, and it gets AJ to be as entertaining as he was, I'm all for it.
AJ was bragging like, "Look, I'll fight all the time. This is the next competitor," and he's like, "My buddy James Ellsworth." Yeah. It's like. Oh.
Here's where I knew that I was hooked. When they went to commercial break, but they did the little picture-in-picture, you didn't hear what was going on in the ring, but you saw all the fucking...
Ambrose emptying out his pockets.
You saw all the pantomime. Yeah, all the pantomiming. Like when he went over there checking AJ and, patting him down way too much, making him turn around and bend over and spread the cheeks and all that shit. Like, that was hilarious. Then when we went over to Ellsworth was like, yeah, go ahead and check me. And he's like, yeah, like I was laughing my ass off, and I was paying attention to the little itty bitty picture-in-picture thing up over here, and not the loud ass commercials or the big thing that you're supposed to look at. I was like zoned in there, even without any sound, without any commentary, without anything. I was entertained the fuck out of AJ and Dean and Ellsworth right when it was going on.
Kill us, Trav.
What can I say? He's all right.
Hey. All right.
I'm being generous. And there's one thing that you just kind of glossed over there. They brought back the picture-in-picture for the commercials.
3 times during this episode.
Yeah.
I like it.
I just wish they'd be consistent with it. Like
I would too.
It's a good strategy. I like it. And obviously, they're not losing any advertisements over it because they're showing the commercials more than half the screen. So I don't see why they can't keep doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe for this being a post pay-per-view episode and maybe a pre-pay-per-view episode, maybe give us 1 or 2 of those, but not to the point where every episode has 3 or 4 so it doesn't lose its value, I guess.
Yeah.
Like the important episodes.
Now see, I'm not a TV network executive.
Small-time executive.
But I would think that it would be more advantageous for them to continue doing that because what do you do when the commercials come up?
Fast forward button.
Hit the fast forward button. If you're not on DVR or whatever, you change the channel or whatever. But here you have the actual show that you're supposed to watch that you're not going to fast forward through while you're getting your subliminal messages of the commercials. So it's almost like forcing you to watch the commercials.
I damn near craved Popeyes before I went to bed, so somehow it's doing its job.
That's because you live in the hood.
And it was a Tuesday.
That's what's up.
I'm sorry, I got nothing.
All right. So we opened the show with a 10, basically, with the triple threat.
Yes.
Here, let me go back to what I was saying a minute ago. There is a pro and a con that.
Uh-huh.
The pro is, fuck, that was an awesome match, and you open up the show with that. It's awesome. There you go. Like you have such a high momentum to follow after that match. It's almost impossible.
I don't know if it's the following, but if you're gonna start the show like that, you gotta end the show like that.
Right.
And if they weren't gonna tease Cena Ambrose ending the show to make sure that we got a divisive winner and AJ wins it, regardless of how you might not like that. If you're gonna start the show with that good a triple threat match, I was thinking, all right, either Ziggler is beating The Miz finally, and we're gonna go off the pay-per-view celebrating with confetti and everything, or Ziggler's gonna lose and he's gonna give his retirement speech, and that would be worthy of ending the show.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we end the show?
With Bray and Orton.
Yeah, Bray and Orton. Yeah.
The second the bell rang for the match to start, did either of you care?
No. Because it was Bray and Orton. I didn't give a shit.
And I was already thinking, okay, first of all, why is that match going on last? But the thing is, like, the only thing I was trying to pay attention to is, okay, if they're having this match go last, they got something big planned, right? Right?
Yep,
Or
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Abigail?
Maybe. I don't know.
Real Vipers come out of Orton's hands? If they've been watching Total.
That'd be awesome.
Instead, what do we get?
It said, well, we got Harper, which was nice.
Which was supposed to be a big deal because he was on Raw.
I forgot about that too.
And he's now on SmackDown.
Yeah. If this was in the middle of the card, holy shit, that's awesome. But since it was at the end of the card, it's like, okay, that's cool. It's still Bray versus Orton, and Luke Harper's back.
All right. Enough of that. You got
One more.
One more.
At the end of the day, brother, Bray Wyatt won.
That's true.
Do you give a shit anymore of Bray Wyatt now?
No.
Not yet.
Is it 2-0?
I'm not going to put a number on it. I'll know it when I know it.
At this point, it's not even wins. It's like, what are you doing with him?
Okay.
But we've already spent too much time on a match we don't give a shit about. What should have ended the show is Miz Ziggler. If you weren't going to have the shenanigan ending the first match when the last two guys finished the show, then I right then and there, I was thinking, okay, Miz and Ziggler is going to end the show. And Miz is going to win, and Ziggler's going to
cry.
He's gonna give his little speech or whatever he's gonna do, walk away.
I was even expecting Dana Brooke to come out and hug him and walk out to the ring together.
Dana Brooke.
Well, they're dating.
Are they? Oh.
Dana?
No, Ziggler.
Oh. Hey, but the right things jiggle, though. You've noticed that. She's not the worst looking diva on the roster.
You just
Sham have a VIP Costco membership out of his list.
And even if Ziggler didn't lose and didn't do the retirement speech, that means Ziggler fucking won the Intercontinental title finally.
Right.
And what actually happened on the pay-per-view, that should have ended the show because it was
a huge celebration.
When was the last career versus title match that WWE's had?
It's been a long time.
And I think I told
Punk Hardy.
Okay. I think I told you this before. Like, this is the first time that I actually gave a shit about the match that they were in because of the career versus title
and the build.
Yeah. They've done it.
The match itself, dude.
Well, yeah, the match was good too. But interest getting into the match.
Another match of the week candidate.
Yes.
This guy.
Yeah.
It might have even been a little better than the 3.
You know what? You guys are going to give me flack for it because it's the Miz. Oh, of course, everyone likes the match
It's your
with
pick?
Miz, but it's my pick
Because the lack of finish, the lack of swervy finish. It was down to the point. You got to start, a middle, a finish, and that was it.
And
I
it was straight up. I fucking loved all the moves. I like the little Ziggler lose in his boot tribute to Eddie. All the
More
other shit.
Bryan stuff from the Miz.
Exactly,
Yeah.
more Bryan stuff from the Miz. It was almost like you did see from both competitors a microcosm of their careers respectively in that match. It was really cool. I fucking loved that match.
Did you think that it was too many odds against Ziggler that he had to come across? Because the Spirit Squad, this Murray spraying the shit, all this other bullshit. Like he went through a lot in that match. Like more so than he. I mean, I get it. I know why, but I mean, was it
They
too
were
much?
milking the finish.
They were milking the finish.
If Ziggler would have lost without that much interference, we would probably be complaining that Ziggler lost too easily.
Okay, yeah.
So if it was any other match, one interference or 0 interference would have probably sufficed. But when you have your career on the line, you need to hold our attention span and make sure that if Ziggler is losing, it's a credible loss.
If there's any time for somebody to kick out of everything and to overcome everything, it's when your career's on the line as well as the title.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing too is that you want to say that he survived the Spirit Squad, survived the arrogance, getting sprayed in his face or whatever. He was also fighting the Miz, so it's not like it was that big of a challenge anyway. But it was kind of
Coming from this dude. Yeah.
The Miz was the monkey on his back that he just couldn't get off. But it's just the Miz. I mean, in the world of fucking WWE, where does the Miz rank? He ain't
below
Cena.
Rusev.
Yeah, he's below Rusev. He ain't Cena. He ain't Orton. He's kind of somewhere around here. Ziggler,
In ring wise,
historically, Ziggler's definitely like if somebody told me without knowing any fucking storyline, nothing. Hey, who's a better wrestler, Miz or Ziggler? Fuck, Ziggler, of course. Duh. Like you ask anybody, hey, who's a better wrestler, Miz or Ziggler? Fucking. Oh, he just erased me off the list. It's his list, bitch.
Shit.
Yeah.
You just read the list.
Damn it.
Tampering with the list is a listable offense. But yeah, I mean, I feel like Miz needs all that extra shit to defeat Ziggler, but he's just happened to have had his number, you know. So I think it's believable. I love it.
Here's what I don't want to see anymore.
Okay.
The Spirit Squad.
Okay.
They've already burned that shit to the ground.
Oh yeah.
And if the Miz couldn't even succeed with them, there's no reason for them to be on this television.
I didn't care about that opening match on SmackDown.
All I cared about was Morrow going, "Oh my God, he killed Kenny!"
All right, enough of Spirit Squad. One last thing about the Ziggler thing, about the placement of that match. On Talking Smack after the pay-per-view,
Yes.
Ziggler talked about that. He says, well, because Brian brought it up, we're talking about, hey, we should probably renegotiate your contract now that you're the champion. And he says, oh, I don't want money, fame, all this other stuff. I just want small things, like I think this match should have gone on last. I think the IC title match should main event a pay-per-view. And they brought that up. They didn't ignore it. So they knew they maybe have fucked up somewhere, and they addressed it.
So Ziggler is doing a better job of being Cesaro than Cesaro is.
Well played, yes.
Yeah. Something else from the pay-per-view that got your attention, either positive or negative.
The lack thereof of Becky Lynch. So yeah, Becky got injured. She got hurt. We don't know what it is. It's a non-wrestling related injury. So she got a stomach bug, got dehydrated, caught the flu. I don't know. I don't know what that
It
means.
means it's none of our damn business.
I guess so. But she's
I could have gone a little darker than that, but Travis is nailing it.
yeah,
It's
I
none of our
guess
business.
so.
You almost made a list of things.
But she was sitting in a hospital bed, took a selfie, said that she's watching from her hospital room. So I'm like, well, okay. But we're still gonna see Alexa Bliss in action. Fuck yeah. Alexa Bliss goes out there. She's there. Well, okay, who's gonna be her opponent? Cue up Naomi's music. I'm like, yeah, it's like, all right, let's see what can go on here. I really like Naomi. I think it's been overdue for Naomi to have a run at either Divas or Women's title, and for her to be in the spotlight with Becky Lynch gone. Why not her? Apparently, I was in the vast minority of that opinion there. Everybody in the arena gave absolutely zero fucks. Nobody cared. Nobody cheered. Nobody was like, meh.
What was the match they were advertised?
Oh, it's true, but it wasn't a match that was advertised to me either. But when I saw Naomi coming out, I was excited. But even take it to Twitter. On Twitter, everybody was like shitting all over. This sucks. Naomi, blah, blah, blah. She didn't deserve this and that. Like, well, hold on, guys. We're talking about Naomi here. You know, a lot of people have really liked her.
Sexual chocolate.
Oh, I know. But a lot of people really liked her. Yes. So you can still see what you're doing.
Yeah.
But a lot of people liked her, and then all of a sudden, like all those people that were supporters of her just like flipped and said, fuck this. This is stupid. Why book her, this and that. And then when she beat Alexa Bliss, people were even more mad on Twitter. And I was like, what?
Because
Why?
she's not dressed like a DC Comics villain.
I guess. Is that all it is?
Yep.
Like, I like Alexa Bliss just as much as I like Naomi, and just as much as the
If
next guy likes
Naomi
Cinderella.
would have set up her colors to look more like Bumblebee from DC, she would have probably gotten more fans that way.
You think so? You think that's it?
This is coming from somebody who didn't know Bumblebee was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, next McDonald's. Yeah.
I don't know.
Honestly, not to sound rude, but if you're no, I know. There has to be some kind of reason explained to the audience of why who is apparently your number one female wrestler on the brand is not there. And no disrespect, but non-wrestling injury doesn't cut it for a lot of people. They need to know exactly what's going on. If she
After we just said that's none of our damn business.
It's not our damn business.
But make something up.
Make something up.
Storyline.
Really, make something up. It's like Alexa broke fucking Becky Lynch's baby toe, and she can't wrestle. She can't walk for 2 weeks.
Did you catch
Dude,
this?
nobody needs to know that she might have had an abortion and can't be moving for 3 weeks. You know, you could have said something stupid just to appease the audience. Just to appease the audience.
Okay, all right. Did you check the start of the whole pay-per-view when they did the little packages for everything? They even had Becky Lynch and Alexa in that package. So it's just kind of weird that there was no hard explanation of what's going on. Because if you're already in the arena, if you're already waiting for the show to start, like, do you know anything? Like, do you know what's...
Yeah, they did a backstage segment with Alexa and Debray and Shane. And when you're in the arenas, they show what's going on in those
was it pre-show?
No. Well, was it?
I don't remember seeing anything.
I remember seeing it. I just don't know if it was pre-show or a regular show.
I don't remember seeing anything.
You didn't watch the pre-show?
No, fuck
well,
is a pre-show.
I did, so then maybe it was on the pre-show.
Yeah, that sounds like a winner.
Oh, speaking of the pre-show, Kurt Hawkins came out and said,
fuck Kurt Hawkins. Oh, my God.
Well, he said he was going to debut on SmackDown. Guess what happened on SmackDown?
He didn't debut. The fuck?
Yeah.
Is that listable?
Hey, you don't worry about Travis's list. Let Travis worry about Travis's list.
Twofold. Yes, it is listable. And I'm putting Hawkins on the list. And then you made the list again for telling me what to put on the list.
There we go.
At least my listing was more admirable because I'm trying to save your bald ass.
Yeah,
you're just throwing it out in the open. It's like, hey,
yeah. Can't win for losing, right?
How about Usos against Beauty and the Man Beast?
I'd said this before. They put the titles on the wrong team when they put it on Slater and Rhino.
They should put it on the Usos.
Yeah. The Usos have been having this side feud with American Alpha since Jump. From this
nice transition.
And I got a little issue with this with American Alpha. They've been doing Usos been doing a good job week in, week out of tearing up that knee of Gable.
Where was it?
Where he was on the pre-show that
yes, it was him and the Hype Bros versus the Ascension.
No tape on the knee, no limping, no selling, no nothing.
Fuck villains.
And exactly, no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
So and then on SmackDown the same thing, right? Like no, I think it was a one-on-one match, right? No. Who fought?
Yeah, it was Gable versus one of them.
Yeah,
Jay.
No.
Nothing.
Yeah, no. like the last 3 weeks meant nothing as far as
like
him.
a sensu being later and boom.
Yeah, like he never took a fucking axe and chopped his fucking leg off. You know, that's how much he's been attacking his leg. You know, week in, week out. and he's already like you said, sense of being. He's all healed up. I wonder if that makes sense.
Any comment about Nikki against Carmella?
I
dig it.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a solid feud. Nikki, I think we all predicted she was going to win, which makes sense. She's been getting the short end of the stick of this whole feud lately, so it made sense. And then I think on Talking Smack or SmackDown, she attacked. No, it was a Fallout thing on SmackDown. Nikki was being interviewed about Total Bellas.
And Carmella beat the shit out of her.
Again.
Some more.
So it's still continuing.
And then on Talking Smack on Tuesday night after SmackDown, she was there again, and she like brought it up. It's like, hey, everywhere I am, whenever I'm getting interviewed, she's always there. Brian, you need to do something about security around here.
I'm gonna kick you out of our house.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But
oh god, I watched the first episode of Total Bellas.
You have 10 seconds. Go.
It sucked. Here's the thing. Stop with the thing. All right. So you've seen an episode of Total Divas before, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Sadly.
The most redeeming thing about that carries over to Total Bellas, which is Daniel Bryan.
That's
not even Brie?
No.
So, not even Cena or Brie.
No.
Okay.
Well, Brie and Daniel Bryan together, that's okay. That's good. But you put them in the situation where they're living in Cena's house, and he's got all these fucking rules, and they all like to dress up for dinner, and it's ridiculous. I mean, it's totally fabricated. I hope it's fabricated. God, I hope they don't really live like that. But the thing is, I was done watching the episode, and they're showing like
Dr. Thuganum is sold out.
They're like coming like.
Have you seen those titties?
I'd sell out too.
she ain't hard to look at. Anyway, they're showing like clips for the upcoming season, right?
I question how she really broke her neck.
Okay, so you're trying to give me 10 seconds over here. So they're showing clips of upcoming episodes, right? The whole thing looks like shit. And then like the last two clips are like Daniel Bryan talking about his not the retirement, but like there's a couple things that Daniel Bryan was talking about, and I was like, fuck. Damn you, Daniel Bryan. You just made the list.
What? Daniel Bryan made the list.
No.
Right.
Any comment?
Being awesome.
any 2 cents or half a cent or a Canadian penny over Corbin Swaggy 2?
No, fuck him.
Okay.
I don't even know where was the match. It made the card.
It made the card.
The first
I just don't remember.
Corbin beat him in the days clean.
Did he?
Yeah.
Like I totally.
Fuck him.
I had high hopes for it. But,
you did.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
That's it for SmackDown. However, there's still one bit of news that came out of SmackDown. Shane and Daniel Bryan are throwing down the gauntlet. You questioned last week. I said I teased something last week, or maybe it was when we were watching Raw. I was like,
it was on the show.
It's WWE. They're not going to do traditional Survivor Series matches. Bitch! Shane and Daniel Bryan. 3 challenges.
3.
5-on-5 Raw men versus SmackDown men. 5-on-5, 5 Raw women against 5 SmackDown women, and then 5 teams of Raw tag teams versus 5 teams of SmackDown.
Basically, the tag team divisions.
So that's basically going to be 10-on-10, or is it one representative from each team?
No, 10-on-10. They've done it. The first 2 Survivor Series were like that.
10-on-10.
And I think bragging rights had something to that effect. Not up to 10, but they had like 8.
Whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
So we have so far, jumping ahead, which is the other.
You better reinforce the ring for that one, Brain.
They're jumping ahead from
oh, come on.
Cell. Right off the top, Survivor Series, 5-on-5 men, 5-on-5 women, 5 teams against 5 teams, and you're most likely ending it with Lesnar Goldberg.
Okay.
On paper, whichever paper you decide to use. How is that looking like to you as a pay-per-view?
I kind of like it.
How about you?
I like it. I do have a nit to pick, but that's not because of this. I think this could be good, but it's more or less an issue that I have anytime they do brand versus brand. And we've seen it time and time again on bragging rights and things like that, where heels and faces will team up.
And it doesn't work.
Like, I don't want to see like AJ Styles and John Cena and Dean Ambrose on the same team.
Well, didn't JBL? I think he mentioned that on commentary. He had said that, yeah, I've been on teams before where for the good of the brand, you'd have to get along with people you wouldn't normally get along with.
Yeah,
I get it. Continuity-wise, makes sense.
Would that be a decent sacrifice in order for you to get possibly AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins, AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens? That kind of like.
I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world because I've seen it before.
Yeah,
it's something that just kind of gets under their skin,
And here's the part that I wanted to tie the NXT thing over. You said nobody can handle Asuka in the NXT division. What if
he's actually paying off on the tees? Holy shit!
What if we get Asuka, Ember Moon, and 3 bitches in NXT, and somehow NXT still beats Raw and SmackDown? What if we get Shinsuke Nakamura, Samoa Joe, and a couple of other guys from NXT as a triple threat classic match against the Raw and SmackDown guys?
Okay.
Start building up the fact that NXT is not just a developmental brand anymore. We already got 2K17 released with an NXT special edition. We have NXT TakeOver happening the day before in Toronto. We're most likely going to have an NXT TakeOver the day before Royal Rumble in San Antonio.
Technically, it's not a TakeOver yet.
Technically, not yet. But we've had NXT guys wrestle in WWE before, in the Royal Rumble, and in WrestleMania. Like the NXT Access, Hideo Itami wound up being in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. How about we start planting some of that seeds now with Survivor Series? Have some NXT guys in the mix.
Okay.
You could probably do like 1 or 2 dudes in there, but as much as what you're saying, I don't think it's going to be that until.
Well, and I'm not going to get too erect for that until we find out what the fuck is going on with Triple H. It's like been 2 months now, and we have not had storyline progression with that. We still don't know why Triple H helped Kevin Owens backstab Seth, and it seems like Kevin Owens and Seth has fucking forgot about it.
Everybody's forgot about it. No, I forgot about it. Yeah. Here's the thing: ever since she picked her up from work and gave her a kiss, whatever, and they got in the limo and got, I think that was it.
Yeah,
I think that's the end of the storyline. That he was in cahoots with her the whole time, and yada yada yada, and that's it. I think that's the end of the story.
Damn, that sucks.
And the worst part is the bitching that Mick Foley took. There were no repercussions of that. There were no repercussions of that whatsoever on Raw. They had each other's back. It's like, wait a minute.
Are we supposed to forget what the ass chewing that he got last
week? Or is
week?
Mick Foley already subservient to Stephanie, and that's why?
He bought a suit, man. He bought a custom-made flannel suit, for God's sake.
That tie didn't even match.
Well, but he didn't do that for Steph, because when Steph saw it, she was like, whoa, okay, Well,
that's her being Steph.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. We can't start talking about NXT as a brand, at least in my mind, going up against Raw and SmackDown brands if we haven't got the shit with Triple H sorted out. Because in my mind, I'm still thinking that Triple H is an NXT guy.
What if that's how the Survivor Series pay-per-view ends? With Shinsuke Nakamura, Samoa Joe, Austin Aries, Bobby Roode, and a face. And they win. And Triple H comes out and raises all their hands, and that's the end. And that's
because,
and then we start getting more.
That'd be interesting. I'd like it, but only if it makes sense leading up to there. If fucking Survivor Series was next week, it would make 0 sense for any NXT people to even fucking show their yellow ass up on the screen. Like, it wouldn't make no sense at all.
And here's the reason for that. Not only wouldn't make any sense, but NXT is still a portion of their audience, the real audience. We've seen that time and time again.
Yes.
Even in NXT, we've already said how much of afterthought has Austin Aries been.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What makes you think going into the main roster right now in some kind of storyline capacity would change any of that?
Right.
Because what can be their biggest detriment might also be their biggest asset. And right now, their biggest asset is that Toronto is a marquee town, and they're going to have NXT the night before. So just like SummerSlam was bombarded by NXT TakeOver Brooklyn people, there's a pretty good chance that Toronto is not going to be full of casual fans, which means we could get the pop that Hideo got in TakeOver Brooklyn, or the pop that Bobby Roode's theme singing along, or
that's going to be
just in general, AJ showing up at the Rumble in front of a smarky town like Orlando, where we were all surprised that he got the reaction he got. So there still is that uptick where if you could.
That was also Orlando, where TNA headquarters was.
But again, that was the last couple of years. Royal Rumble has not been 100% casuals, and that's been going over the last couple of years. The way the legends have been getting pops when they enter the Rumbles.
But we're not talking about Rumble. We're talking about Survivor Series
in Toronto, a marquee town. You think guys like that will get over it, especially after the showing they put the night before?
I'll tell you one thing though. If right now, I don't think that Survivor Series is a destination trip for Smarks. Destination trip for Smarks are SummerSlam, Mania, and Rumble. You know, those three. Survivor Series is kind of falling off. But if they continue to do what they're booking right now, where it's going to be 3 Survivor Series style matches, it's all fucking gimmick, Raw versus SmackDown, maybe that'll bring some of the Smarks back around. And I know I was talking shit earlier in the show about like pay-per-views are themed and has a certain, 3 matches.
As long as they don't fuck with the formula, right?
Right. Here, Survivor Series has historically been all about Survivor Series matches. So I'll forgive it for that because of fucking nostalgia's sake, I guess you could say. But if they go with it and they turn this into a Raw versus SmackDown thing and just for fun and have the fucking Brock versus Goldberg at the end of the night, dude, yeah, that could attract a lot of smarkiness to it. But that has not been established yet.
You said NXT is only this much of the crowd. Would it grow with the new rumored WWE Network prices? With the survey that hit
you transition. That's a professional transition.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna take off one of your things.
Oh, hey, look at there.
Spill the beans. We all saw notice of the survey that WWE sent out.
Yeah.
Give us the details.
I've slept since then. But okay, so there's new
4 price ranges.
There's 4. I don't know what the cheap ones are. I don't know what I know the most is like 15.
$3, $4.99, $9.99, $14.99.
Now, $14.99. Well, that's the one that everybody's got their eyes on, right?
Right.
Why?
Apparently, they're already talking if this is available to be able to have access to TNA and ROH. What?
Well,
specifically. TNA and Ring of Honor. Yeah. That was specific wording in the survey. Yeah,
that was the wording of the survey. I don't think that means that they are going to get them because, goddamn, I mean, we've been through the roller coaster up and downs of actually what's going on in fucking TNA, and they're not any closer than what they were 2 weeks ago, as far as we know. But what the more likely, I guess you could say, was Evolve in Progress, that you could see them on the network. So will that have me shell out $14.99 instead of $9.99 with Evolve in Progress? Maybe if it was $12.99, I'd probably be okay with it, but I really don't give a shit about either one of those 2 promotions. But if you do add ROH and TNA, but dude, I have to hesitate, and I don't want to put too much into the survey because it's just a survey asking, hey, if we could, would you be okay with it? It's not saying, hey, we got all this shit. Do you want to do it?
Here's the other thing that I thought. I was on a completely different train of thought. Over the weekend, binging WWE Network, breaking somebody into the wrestling world, there were a lot, and I mean a lot more ads on the network than I'd ever noticed when I was watching a pay-per-view or watching NXT. I wasn't thinking, holy shit, WWE is going to buy TNA and Ring of Honor. I'm going back in the archives of Eric Bischoff going, well, we're going to syndicate a television show to where if we went to a network, they would pay us X in rights fees. Would WWE really want to invest in their network that much that they would pay rights fees to Ring of Honor or TNA to have either a secondary show from their brand or have first run episodes from them? Which is kind of what I thought the network was going to be in the first place. I would love to have seen Inoki sign an agreement with Vince McMahon and let's get some New Japan stuff on there. Or, hey, fuck it, Jarrett wants to do something with Global Force. Hey, Vince McMahon's got an outlet for people to see it. Why not Vince McMahon cut a right fee here and there?
Make it a true network.
Or make it a legitimate network. Give them a cut of the merch or something. When I saw TNA and Ring of Honor for $15, I'm thinking, all right, Sinclair, WWE Network. Or Pop Network, WWE Network, like in cohesion, that it's actually legitimately a network, not just WWE showing off what they have in their name, because that would be not. It sounds like, at least with TNA side, all the cooks in the kitchen that is making it hard to buy it. if it's easier to just sign a rights fee contract to be able to air the episodes,
You can rent it.
Rent it enough so that you can have your collection on the networks. Like, look, this is AJ Styles,
right?
Without having to pay top dollar for it,
Mm.
like Netflix.
Right.
You have a show for a couple of months, and then when it gets old or when it gets stale, replace it with something else. That's what I thought when I saw that.
Okay.
And at $15 for 2 pay-per-views a month, just on 2 pay-per-views a month for $15, it's a no-brainer.
For ROH and TNA pay-per-views and archive, I would definitely happily shell out $15 a month. I'd happily shell out $20 a month.
If ROH pay-per-views are included.
ROH, TNA
even if it's on a delay.
And their library, then I would do the 20.
Not all at once. I wouldn't want the whole library. Like,
we're getting like specifics over here, and all they said was if we can get TNA and ROH footage from them, would you want to pay it? I'm sure it's. I would hazard a guess it would be archive footage. I don't think it's going to be first run or pay-per-views. Get that shit out of your mind. I don't think it's going to happen. But
that being said, would you pay $15 for all that?
Probably, yeah.
I would not pay $15 just so I could watch Progress and Evolve.
I wouldn't.
That is what they have their hands on now, and I don't give 2 shits about
it. Yeah. $4.99 for like the cell phone and tablets, and you only get 5 hours of roaming around in the library.
Yeah.
$9.99 is basically what we have now, and then $14.99 would include
what we have now plus
Ring of Honor, TNA, and something else that a lot of people haven't noticed: live NXT programming. If this is what it takes if that's what it takes for NXT to be live every week or even every other week, just more consistent enough with their storylines that it won't be lost.
Hopefully that'll improve the product.
Yes.
You know, because I haven't been that big of a proponent saying that, the difference between SmackDown Live and what it was. I don't think the difference of SmackDown improving is the fact that it's live. I think the difference of it improving is the fact that they have the brand split and they decided to give a fuck about it. But with NXT, I'm the exact opposite way. If you make that shit live, then that forces them to have the night after a takeover, have your new champion on the fucking show. You know? Then that rights a few wrongs that has been going on with NXT.
We've got one segment left before we end this show. We are debuting another segment.
Oh, yes.
HWR Arcade, starring Travis.
HWR Arcade.
Yeah.
You get it? It's a play on words.
Yeah. Get it?
What are we talking about tonight, Travis?
Today, I actually played the brand new WWE 2K17 game.
Diggity dog.
Oh, nice, Fred.
Yeah,
That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
All right. So
the game was just released today.
Right.
Yesterday.
I
Worldwide.
I Redboxed it.
And it was available on Redbox. It's also on the same day, which they don't always do that.
I was surprised. Yeah,
yeah.
I Googled it first just to make sure, and then I was like, holy shit, I was kind of surprised. So I had to
Yoink.
go. Yeah. So I was going on anyway, so I was okay, shoot.
5 minutes in. What did you think?
Oh, this is the same old game I've been playing for years.
Same old shit.
Yeah. I kid you not. I did this earlier this morning. You know, when you get the new put a game in the first time, there's always updates and shit, right? There's still an update going on right now on the PS4 for the new update. It's like 11 gigs or something like that.
A friend of mine in New York got the NXT edition, and it's a 40 gig install.
Oh,
that's for PS4.
Yeah,
40 gig.
I played it for PS4.
The regular edition.
Yeah, Redbox. What the fuck?
Redbox. Yeah.
So first impressions, presentation. First of all, for marketing sake, dude, 2K, 2 thumbs up, man. They know how to market the shit out of these games. They
got a main event of Survivor Series out of it.
Shit. They're geniuses when it comes to their marketing. The gameplay, of course, it's still being made by Ukes. Same company's been making them for God knows how long now, and
ever since it became a 2K series.
Oh, way before that. Yeah,
okay.
This is the same game engine they've been using for years. And because I've been playing these games forever, and ever since like last year and the year before, I
He's learned his lesson.
Yeah.
He's waited till like the super duper edition came out with all the DLC already included for like half of the price of what you can pay now for the regular.
Last year, I don't even think I played it, and this year I redboxed it. So the last one I bought was like the one seen on the cover. I think that was the first
15.
one.
That was 2K15.
Yeah, the first one for the PS4. That was the last one I bought. But anyway, this one, they always have a good presentation of like the menus and the graphics. Oh yeah, he deserves.
Finn Balor's like crawling around on the menu. He's just like there.
Sasha is like strutting in the background and everything. When you get to the gameplay, it's the exact same goddamn gameplay. If you played a WWE game in the last 10 years, you've already played this game. It's the same mechanics, same everything. I can't really explain unless you played it. But the the submission system, the pin system, I hate both of them, and they haven't changed. It's the same ones. I just wish they'd do some kind of upgrades to make it. The reversal system still sucks. You got to hit the R2 button, and you got to do it just the right time. Even though it says to do it before they hit you, and you do it, and it still says you're either too early, too late, and you're fucked for like 5 minutes in the match. Anyway, there's that. Now, I will say there is an impressive roster starting off with. It's pretty updated. There's a lot of stuff that you can buy. You get like coins in the game, and you can buy all the unlockables, which is different from the past 2-3 games. In the past 2-3 games, they've really had an excellent mode called Showcase.
Okay.
Brilliant, man. They incorporate live footage with the live audio and the gameplay. It just they match it with what do you call the little mini games inside it? Where you have to hit a button at the same time.
Oh, quick time events.
Quick time events, yeah. They're really good. It's brilliant the way they do it for the past 3 or 4 games. Like this game, I was looking forward to it because Brock Lesnar. I'm thinking they're going to go back and do his history report. Guess what?
Those 2 years that Lesnar was there.
No showcase.
At all.
Nobody?
No.
None.
No. There's no showcase. The one redeeming quality that I've had for these games for the past 3 years, nothing. I went online. 2K put a statement out on the features and everything, and it says, unfortunately for this year, we decided not to. We had to skip out on the showcase because of going back. We want to make it as authentic as possible and make it the best we can. And unfortunately, because of all the rich history of characters that was in the past, they couldn't get access to them like they have in the past games. So they couldn't get the rights to some of the opponents he's faced. So
the rights to Lesnar's opponents?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
I guess like a Hardy's, Rob Van Dam maybe. I don't know exactly who. They just said
The Rock.
Well, he's in the game. Yeah. Hogan.
Shocker.
Hogan is the one in all the unlockables. There's a plethora of unlockable characters in this game. We're going back to the 80s and 90s for WCW and WWF. It's a good, like, if you unlock everything, you're going to have a lot of gameplay options. If you like,
it could be WWE, WCW 2K17, basically
from the 90s, pretty much. But the one person that's not in this game at all, brother, Jack, and it's sad, really. I mean, honestly.
Was Benoit in the game?
You could probably make him a creator wrestler.
Well, same thing for Hogan too.
Yeah,
but which that's another thing.
How's the creation this year?
It's vastly improved, especially from the first one on the new generation systems. They brought back a lot of the features that were taken away in the past games. A lot more now. I was damn near making Iron Man earlier today. You have new textures and everything. It is. The creative system is really good.
Is there a creative finisher? Is that back yet?
Yes, there's a lot of creative whatever, creative belts. I created the Universal belt. I created the Women's Smackdown title. Nice. I'm in the process right now. I was making the Smackdown tag team titles also. So you can do some stuff with this thing, and the entrances are really good. The best one, I gotta say, the best entrance out of all this whole thing, I showed it to Chris earlier.
Hey, baby!
Oh. Okay. I was gonna say, who could it be? But you kind of jumped the gun on that one.
Premature ass motherfucker.
But yeah, dude, I don't know if the motion caption, New Day doing everything, but damn, it looks like you're watching TV on that one.
Nice.
It's really good. Another good one was Finn Balor, because they brought in 2 entrances for him: his regular pop the collar and then the demon. But the interesting thing, what they did with this one is they incorporated the crowd doing the raising the hands.
Nice.
Like, so yeah, every time music comes up, and it's synced with the music too.
Nice.
So it's really good. The lights and everything. So you can tell the ones they spent time on, and the ones they kind of.
They even have Xavier Woods on Francesca blowing the theme.
Nice.
Yeah. So
It's kind of a mixed bag of the good and the bad. I wouldn't pay $60 for it, but that's just me. You had to tell me that Nakamura was in a game, but you had to get the big fancy.
The NXT special editions, Nakamura, Nia Jax, and a third person that I can't put my finger on.
So between the $60 game, if you want to get the NXT edition, it's what, $100?
Yeah, it's
probably
$100.
So or $60 or $100 plus the season pass, which is like $30. So for all the stuff you can get. The one thing that annoyed me was I tried out the universe mode, which is kind of like they've had this before, but it's basically where you go through all the shows, like the Raws,
right,
and you go to like promos and matches and all this other stuff. And this new promo system, which is what they spent all this time on because they didn't need to focus on the showcase, they focused on the promo mode. You come in here, the guy comes in, the first one was Brock Lesnar. He came in and he gets on the mic and his mouth starts moving, and then subtitles come up and you have to read all these others. Like, I gotta read? Come on now. What the
kind of like RPGs, like maybe Mass Effect or something.
I was about to say, just like Mass Effect, where you pick your options,
Oh.
and you have like a time limit of how long you have to make a decision, and I got out of it really fast.
Okay.
So, like I said, there's a mixed bag of good pros and the cons of this game.
Yeah, just like wrestling.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Would you rather buy 2K17 or another game that you rented a few days ago? Finally, Street Fighter V.
Oh well, Street Fighter V, I can get that for $13.99 at Redbox. That's difference from
That's
$60.
a horse of a different color.
Yeah.
He rents it for $3 after I told him, dude, you should buy it at 13. And then after he returned it the next day, he tells me, you know what? I'd probably buy it if it was $10. I was like, fuck, $10 plus the $3 he already spent to rent the fucker. He would have had it. Dick.
That would have been 13.
Yeah, exactly.
Should have had your own list.
Oh, he's
Yeah. That's it for HWR Arcade. Got some ideas floating around. We'll fuck with it. We'll figure it out.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's it. That's it in a nutshell for that one.
Ta-da.
That is it.
Oofda. Okay, well then, there you go, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to tune in next week, please do so. We do it every Wednesday night, right? Yeah, today's Wednesday. Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Get on the live chat. Talk with us. If you are interacting on the Facebooks, you can do so, facebook.com/Houston Wrestling Radio. Also on Twitter at HWrestling Radio. So, thank you. Adios, my friends. Keep it classy.
Toodles.
You gonna do the TJ Perkins?
Oh, yeah. I hit my glasses.
Stop it for fun.